Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, December 11th and Thursday, December 12th, 2019 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I value where I've been and the wisdom it has given me to rise. And I decided to do kind of a bridge astro energy because there is so much talk about this 12-12 energy. So the full moon on December 12th, 12/12, and it happens at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time, early Thursday morning. It's 9:12 p.m. Pacific Time on the 11th, so it's a fair bridge to make. And it's interesting because this is the last full moon of this year. And it's the last full moon of this decade. And I definitely feel like, 8-8 is a portal, 9-9 is a portal, 10-10 is a portal, 11-11 is a portal. Here we are at this 12-12 portal, and it's so appropriately Sagittarius. 12 energy adds up to 3, and 3 connects with that planet Jupiter energy. So it is that expansive energy. It does encapsulate the mystery or the mystic mysteries of the triplet energy. We'll just leave that there. So we're moving through this 12-12 portal, and this gives us a chance to really review what has happened for you this last year. How have you expanded? This last year we had Jupiter in Sagittarius. How has your life expanded for you in this last year? And then also looking back over the last decade, where were you in your life 10 years ago? How have you expanded through them? I think sometimes we concentrate so much on what we haven't done, what we need to do, all that kind of stuff, and we don't look how far we have come in that time. With this full moon, it's a full moon in Gemini, and I love that I did my energy mantra. I value where I've been and the wisdom it's given me to rise. I looked at the Sabian symbol after, and the Sabian symbol connects so strongly to this energy. But with this full moon in Gemini, we really do want to look backwards consciously, forwards consciously, and then settle in right here in the now, in the lessons that are all around us at this time. This full moon definitely has some interesting energy feeding in. So before we reach the peak of the full moon, we have Venus conjunct Saturn, and they're at 19 degrees, and this full moon is at 19 degrees. So there's that 10 energy. 10 energy can be that completion, and 10 energy can also be the energy of 1. So it's like endings and new beginnings happening in here. One of the things I stated is with this Venus conjunct Saturn, and then moving into that conjunction with Pluto, we're getting a good representation of some of the lessons that we need to work with, as we move into this Saturn-Pluto conjunction, the Saturn-Pluto portal, the Plutonic colonic extraordinaire energy that's coming in for us. So Venus, representing relationships, may be showing us through various relationships, whether it's family, partners, lovers, children, friends, co-workers, roommates, pets, whoever. You may be getting a taste of some of the lessons, and Venus is reminding us, be present, practice self-care. Now I love that the moon is actually, as we reach this full moon energy, in an inconjunct, not seeing eye to eye with this energy. And so, that moon in Gemini can be so overstimulated. The mental monkeys can be all over the place. It's a million monkey party going on with all of this energy that we're tuning into. Not to mention Mercury and Uranus connecting in an inconjunct as well, which we'll get into. So with this energy, Venus is reminding us here and now, what is it that you need? Saturn brings in that responsibility. It's up to you to respond in a way that's true to you. Gemini can have that twinning habit that's like, oh, look at this energy. This energy is fun. I really like it. I'm going to go twin it. Venus is like, be true to yourself, be true to your soul, and see where that puzzle piece fits in, rather than feeling that you need to twin that energy in any way, shape, or form. I feel like the Gemini full moon can be, again, the Million Monkey Party, and that in conjunct with the Venus and the Saturn does bring it down a little bit to earth, and really does ask us, like, hey, look into these energies. The last year and the last 10 years, and really spend some time absorbing the lessons that they've had for you. So I love, like I said, I love the Sabian symbol. Sabian symbol for 19-degree Gemini, which is where the full moon is a large archaic volume, reveals traditional wisdom. So this reveals like what we've learned, where we've been, the traditions. And this is good, again, to review all of this, because we're coming to this place where tradition and structure can definitely be upended with this Saturn Pluto energy that's coming through. The Sabian symbol for 19 degrees Sagittarius, which is where the sun is in this full moon energy, is pelicans menaced by the behavior and refuge of men seek safer areas for bringing up their young. So it's basically, we've seen what happens, and we're moving into this energy that feels more balanced, that feels more secure. We're all doing this in our lives right now, you know, looking from the past, these last 10 years, and you can go longer too if you'd like. Look back, 100 years. Look back 1,000 years. What lessons have we learned? We can't forget history, and Sagittarius really reminds us that. And to be fair, Sagittarius energy, it can also remind us that we don't necessarily want to believe everything that we read in the books, and that sometimes we need to tune into the Akashic wisdom that is within us to really remember and understand what has gone on. But anyways, the pelicans are seeking safer areas based on what they've learned. So it's like, look to the past to help us all chart and create an even better future. And here we are at this 12/12 portal. What comes after we move through this? How do we expand even further? How do we rise even further from the wisdom that we have lived, the wisdom that we have learned? How do we show up that Venus energy present in self-care, self-love, because it's from that place that we really can bring forth our gifts and serve the world and be in that Saturn soul responsibility. So this is a really, really powerful energy. Not to mention that this sets us up for the next eclipse. Next meaning the final one of 2019. Whew, this has been a year of eclipses, and we're heading into another year of major eclipses. But on Christmas, we're going to have an eclipse that we're going to have to move through. And if you guys have been consciously through eclipses, they bring a lot of change energy. But here's this opportunity. It's like you're on, the cliff of this portal, and Spirit's like, go ahead, jump. I promise you're okay. And you're like, I don't know. I feel like the next eclipse is going to be like, okay, well, I told you to jump. This full moon is like, you're good. Learn from the past and move with grace where you are going. All right, so let's talk about some of these other energies that we have going on feeding into this. I told you, million member monkey party going on in your head. I don't remember how I said that. Mercury is in conjunct Uranus. So we have Mercury in Sagittarius wanting to connect to the horizons, to the wideness of what is. Uranus in Taurus. Uranus is finishing up its retrograde pattern in Taurus energy. That might be where our toes are kind of like clinging to the earth. And Uranus is like, you know what? I promise you, the earth mother, she's got this too. Learn from the wisdom that you've offered. Move forward beautifully. I think sometimes, though, we get stuck in overthinking. And Uranus and Taurus is like, don't get stuck in overthinking. Connect to the earth. Don't get stuck in overthinking. Connect to the earth. That goes hand in hand with that Venus-Saturn in conjunct. Getting too much in the mind and not being present. How many of us do that? It's really easy to do this, this day of, cell phones and technology and all that. Don't get too caught up in that. Connect to the earth. The moon also on its way to the full moon reaches a square with Venus energy. And Venus is, again, like, hey, Gemini, I know you're ready for some information, but I've got things that'll blow your crown off. And it's, again, just the reminder, stay tuned. Stay curious. That's a big lesson I feel like coming in for the next year. Stay curious. It's easy for the Gemini. That's not necessarily always easy for the Sagittarius, because Sagittarius energy can get caught up in, like, I know. Stay curious. Don't get too caught up. Don't get too caught up in, like, the showiness of the magic. But really let the magic that is happening in and through this really be embodied by you. It keeps coming back to that. Be embodied in this energy. Don't fly off too far to La La Land, although La La Land is great at times. This is a call to the embodiment, to the physical, as we move through this 12-12 portal energy. I have some pretty amazing cards, too, for this energy. I love this. Integration. We've been working so hard on the yin and the yang energies. So here we have. We've been doing major work with the yang energy. Here's healing, the King of Cups. So, maturely expressing emotions as they move forward. That's one of the things with full moons. It's like, what are you consciously releasing from this year, from the last 10 years? And what are you consciously, Sun and Sagittarius, reaching for from this place of having done so much healing? So much healing of this old stuff. Can you release it? Can you bless and release this energy? Can you let go of any mental monkeying, any guilt, any pain that's left over, prancing around in your mind? Can you forgive yourself? Can you release the hope that it could have been different? And really see, again, from that wisdom, that's the important part. How do you rise from there? And finally, the compromise card, which I always call the don't compromise card. And I'm getting 2 messages with it. Don't compromise your soul. Be as closely bonded to your integrity in this moment as you can. But at the same time, it's like, compromise, work with the universe. The universe is supporting us, in reaching this energy. So, it is potent and powerful. I will be back tomorrow with a scope, because there's going to be all kinds of other things happening on 12/12, like Chiron moving direct, which is interesting that this is happening at the same time. Again, I feel like it's like, yes, you did really good healing. Let's move forward from that place. How do we rise from this wisdom? You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com for that. I have my 2020 year ahead readings. Looking ahead is 2020. I don't think it goes like that, but we're making it that way for this. I have the Eclipse readings still available. It's like, coming down to the wire for that. Regular readings as well, holiday readings. And besides that, moment by moment. Take it moment by moment and be present. There's more than enough love in the world for you. Do not fall into the lure of lack. You do have the power, and the better it gets, the better it gets. Namaste.